What's up, guys? Body Shot King here, back with another video, and today I wanted to express my thoughts on the Curse of Osiris DLC for Destiny 2. So let's get started. Starting off with the story, I think that the beginning was good, the middle was pretty bad, and the ending was good. I thought Panoptes was a great boss. His form was unique, and the fight I felt like could have been a little more engaging, but it definitely was better than the Gaul fight. But the entire story felt a little disconnected. I like the fact that Panoptes was brought up throughout the story, but he wasn't as focused on as Gaul was. I thought that the campaign for original Destiny 2 was very good, but this was very lacking. I mean, the beginning with Osiris, the backstory for that was cool, but that's all we got was the backstory. We didn't get anything else on Osiris, and the missions themselves were pretty lame as well. Moving on to adventures. There's a reason to do adventures now, which is good, but there's only a reason to do them once, which is to unlock the boxes that Brother Vance gives you. I think heroic adventures are a step in the right direction. They are challenging, but there's no reason to do them other than to do the one. And to this day, I've only done one heroic adventure, and I've only done the adventures once, besides having to capture footage of an adventure for this video, in the case that I did one of them twice. The Past Mercury Horde mode. I've heard a lot of people say that the Past Mercury is kind of like a Horde mode, and I agree. I think that it would be great to see a Horde mode created out of that adventure and kind of expand the purpose of the Infinite Forest, but I'll get to the purpose of the Infinite Forest in a later part of the video. But I think they're going in the right direction for adventures. We just need repeatability in these activities. Moving on to strikes. The two strikes that we got with this DLC, I think, are great strikes, but why are they also story missions? I am glad that these strikes are in some way integrated into the story, albeit a lame story, but they are integrated. That cannot be said for the original 5 or 6 strikes, depending on what console you're on, that were included with original Destiny. Those were so far removed from the story. So I'm glad to see that these are integrated, but the fact that they can come up in the rotation for Ikora as extra story missions and they're included as a story mission can, it gets confusing. I wish there were more strikes like this. These were great strikes, and I feel like to really tap into the full potential of what strikes are, like they did at the end of Destiny 1, we just need more strikes. So I wish there were like 3 or 4 in this DLC and just instead of just 2, but hopefully we're going to get more in the next DLC. The fact that they added back heroic strikes is great. It's a step in the right direction. Should they have been there from the beginning? Absolutely. But the fact that they're there now gives us, something more to do. What it does still need is modifiers, which Bungie has addressed. They are going to add modifiers. And we just need another reason to do them, whether it's specific rewards or higher chances of exotics, and then they need to change, exotics in a way to make them enticing enough. We just need a reason to do these, and then we need modifiers to make them more engaging. Next up, let's talk about Explore or Patrol for any Destiny 1 players. The Lighthouse. I was very let down by what the Lighthouse had to offer for us. First off, this is a different Lighthouse than what we had before, so there was no nostalgia there. It was extremely small, and it was marketed as a social space, and it wasn't a social space. It was just a place for the Explorer area vendor to preside. So I was really hoping that we would get the same Lighthouse from Destiny 1. So for all those people who visited the Lighthouse in Destiny 1, got that nostalgia of visiting that after a Trials card. But that just wasn't there. So maybe in the future we get to visit the other Lighthouse in some of the other areas on Mercury, but for now, I'm very let down by this lighthouse. Public event that came with this, the public event. It was very fun, and it was absolutely the most rewarding public event ever, with 2 tokens and a blue. And if you're lucky, 2 tokens and 2 blues. I don't get this. We just need more rewards. Let's get more Mercury tokens, especially since they nerfed how many tokens it takes to upgrade a vendor, which I thought was in a fine place. They didn't need to nerf it any. I didn't feel like it was too rewarding. I mean, there's 4 at the time. There were 4 planets, so you had to like evenly divide them up, and it's still on my account. It did not equal up to what other vendors had as far as their reputation number. So I don't understand that. The Infinite Forest. First off, there is so much wrong with this. We need to add this to the Explorer area to make Mercury larger than it is now, and not just the tiny space that we have. Why is I'm going to call it semi-procedurally generated portion of it there? It serves no purpose, and when we go through this in strikes, I can literally just skip over every single enemy that there is. I'm extremely disappointed by what is brought to the table by the Infinite Forest. I feel like if we got future Mercury, past Mercury, and present Mercury, and some of the stuff that was in present Mercury, add that into the lighthouse space or whatever to add to the normal patrol area without being in the Infinite Forest, I feel like that would be cool. So I feel like there's a lot of untapped potential with the Infinite Forest, which I think is really just kind of the key of this DLC. It brings a lot to the table, but it's a lot of, it brings stuff to the table, but it's also a lot of untapped potential that's there that we just need to unlock. Next up is Crucible. First off, no new modes. I'm not too terribly disappointed since this is the first DLC, but we could have gotten Rumble, we could have gotten Rift, and we could have gotten Doubles. 3 things that we had in original Destiny that were taken away from us. I'm thinking, since we saw Mayhem come back with the Dawning, I'm thinking that we're probably going to see Doubles come back with the Crimson Days, because it has been confirmed that Crimson Days is coming back through database leaks. So I'm a little disappointed that they didn't bring Rift back, especially since how lackluster Supremacy is and how boring Clash can get. My ideal thing for Crucible is to have Clash in its own playlist. We can have Supremacy, Control, Rift in one playlist, and then we have the more objective modes of Survival and Countdown in another playlist, and then we could have Rumble and possibly Doubles, and now Mayhem. The maps that we got with Crucible, Pacifica, at first I was not happy with it, but now I'm just kind of indifferent. It's not a great map, but it's not a horrible map either. It's just okay. Radiant Cliffs is aesthetically a very beautiful map, as is the rest of past Mercury Simulation. And I think the corridors and whatnot was good. It was a very enjoyable map to play Trials on when it was here, except for playing laser tag on it. But it was, I feel like it's a very enjoyable map to play on, and I don't understand why in the Osiris competitive or quick play playlist it doesn't come up through the rotation more often. And finally, for Crucible, the lackluster balance patch. They didn't really change anything other than hand cannons, which I can't speak for PC since I don't play on PC. I know hand cannons were already pretty good on there. I do feel like it kind of brought them up in the meta on console. I've been using my Better Devils a lot more. But, I mean, that was it. That is the only change that has happened to, what I have currently am using in the game, other than changing out my Uriel's gift for a positive outlook, which isn't that massive of a difference. It's just a few stat changes. So overall, pretty just disappointed with the balance patch. I mean, we waited 3 months without a balance patch to get very minimal changes. I don't know. I'm hoping that we get a balance patch sooner. I think we're getting one in January, and I'm hoping that it brings a lot more to the table, especially as far as exotics go. I feel like a lot of them are still very underwhelming. Moving on to our final topic is weapons and armor. First thing is Masterworks. Masterworks, I think, are a great addition. I think we need more stat changes, more meaningful stat changes, and then also Armor Masterworks and Exotic Masterworks. That way, exotics can see the benefit of the orb generation and give exotics a little bit more meaning, since right now they're very underwhelming. And then armor is also, I honestly don't care what armor pieces I really have on. It doesn't really do much, especially with the stats that it has. Yes, I do still spec out my armor, but if I didn't have the exact spec of armor that I had now, I just wouldn't care. So, hopefully Armor Masterworks, and I know they're working on that, will bring something to the table to help out armor in their lackluster. And as far as exotics go, there's been no mention of them working on Exotic Masterworks, but I severely hope that they are. Lack of weapons added in this. We have 4 per vendor. Whatever was brought to the raid layer, which, what the sad thing is? I don't even know what weapons, what armor, what they look like, what we got from the raid layer, and I haven't even done it. As an avid raider and raid enthusiast from Destiny 1, I just don't care enough. A little side tangent, but in-game needs a fixing, and I'm not going to go into it in this video because I'm kind of looking at this as a bird's eye view of just focusing in on what the DLC is and not the greater problems of the game. So lack of Trials weapons added, lack of Vanguard weapons added. I just wish there was more. They said they were going to be filling in the missing slots that we had, and they filled in 4 missing slots. They didn't fill in the entirety of the thing, which I thought we were just going to get double the weapons we had now, basically. And I was really excited for that. Vendors, the changes they made to them are great. The fact that you can purchase armor now, that is helping me complete some of my armor sets a lot easier. Ornaments are a great addition. I played the heck out of competitive Crucible until I got my fully ornamented set with my feathers and everything on my Titan, which looks absolutely amazing. So I'm very happy with what they added with vendors and ornaments. And of course, exotics, like I stated, with the balance patch portion of this, they're still very underwhelming. I know we're getting changes to at least the Prometheus lens in January, and I hope we get changes to more exotics in January as well, on top of other things. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed listening to my thoughts on what the Curse of Osiris, what its positives are, what its negatives are, and how they could fix it and what more they could add to the game. If you want to support the channel, make sure you click the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I will catch you guys in the next one.